break. So the three things we're doing today is we're doing the hem, we're doing the top stitching, and we're doing the buttons and buttonholes. Okay? I want you to understand how to do the buttonhole placement. I don't care if you do the buttonholes yourself. So what we're going to do for the hem is on the right side of the garment. What we're doing for the hem is a double fold machine hem, just like we did on the seam sampler. This hem is going to be 3/8 of an inch and 3/8 of an inch. So the total 3/4 of an inch at the facing. So that's where it starts. So right along on the right side, you're going to make a dashed line for 3/4 of an inch all the way along. Okay? So that's the first step. So slowly and carefully marking it, you're going to mark 3/4 of an inch, and it's easier if you fold the facing out like I have it here, and it should line up, if you've sewn it really at 3/4 of an inch, it should line up exactly with the facing. Okay, so that's step one. And since you've done this kind of hem before, what's my next step?
More complicated.
What's my next step? Pressing, right? And I'm going to press where? Right along that 3/4 of an inch line, okay? What's helpful is if on this blouse you go along and just kind of finger press it to start with. And then you can take it to the iron. And you want to make sure, however you're pressing the seams, they're folded the right way when you do the hem. Okay, so I'm going to finger press it all the way along. And this little extra couple minutes is really helpful before you get it under the iron. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go along from the wrong side and press it up to start with. On the 3/4 of an inch line. This is a little trickier than the double fold machine hem you did because there's added fullness here. And I'm hovering over it and steaming it because that's shrinking it a little bit, which is helpful. Whenever you have a hem that's bigger, the sewing in the hem is very easy. It's a preparation that takes time here. Then I'm going to unfold it. And double fold it. All along the blouse, fold it to the crease, and really crisply repress it, okay? I'm going to do it all along the whole hem. After I do that, I'll call you up, okay? So I'm going to start, the first part of the sewing is this. I'm going to start on the hem, and I'm going to start just after the facing, okay? Just after the facing. Your stitch length should be 2. Take a few stitches, reverse, and And then slowly and carefully you want to go along, stitching close to the edge. And if you give it a little bit of a pull, it will make it easier. If you find this really hard or your sewing skills need a little bit of support, basting it down the center of the hem's never a bad idea. But pressing it crisply will really help you. And so you're going to go along. I mean, I wouldn't pull it, but a little tight is helpful. And again, you're going to finish right at the edge of the facing. Okay? There you go. Flip your threads. It's not a bad place to start. On the left-hand side, right where you finished. Okay, at the hem, start at the hem, and then you're going to start going all the way around. And now I'm on the right side. I'm looking at the right side of the garment. This is just going to be a continuation, exactly the same width as this. Take a few stitches. And when you come to the distance of how far you want to top stitch, leave the needle in and pivot. And I'm going to be top stitching, running the edge of my fabric in the center of this arm of the presser foot. So I'm not looking at the needle, I'm looking right here, okay? Now, it's always good to hold it a little bit taut. And I'm going to be going all the way around. You want to make sure your blouse is well pressed at this point, particularly the front. When you come to the top of the blouse, you can kind of get a half a stitch by wiggling it a bit. Leave the needle in. Pivot. This is a tricky area right here. So if you're unsure, you may even want to walk your machine here. It's very thick and it could, you know, go off track. Then we're going to go around the collar. And then down to match the stitching in the front. Okay? Any questions about any of this? The important thing is that everything be well pressed before you do this. Okay? Great.